I'm a leaf in the wind, and this is the weekly nightly news. Just a little bit of a prep trailer for this weekend's upcoming topic on FEMA camps. Just cover a couple facts real quick, give you guys a little bit of homework to do a couple things maybe you want to look into over the next couple days. First off would be the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. This is done every year, for every fiscal year, and in fiscal year 2007, want to pay particular attention to section, I believe, 1076, and in fiscal year 2012, section 1021 and section 1022, which section 1021 outlines the covered persons, the people that you can detain, that you can pick up off the street on American soil and detain for an indefinite period, without trial, without prosecution, just because you feel that they're a potential terrorist threat, but you don't have the evidence to prosecute them. And then section 1022 outlines the manner in which you can, essentially the detainment method, the internment camps, and the manner in which everyone is held in the FEMA camps. Then also another thing is Rex 84, which was a plan put into play in 1984, I believe, by Ronald Reagan, converting old military bases into these internment camps, these temporary prisons. The play at the time was that if there was ever a mass immigration of illegal Mexicans to hop over the border, the National Guard would be called in, and FEMA would deploy and control the National Guard, round up all the illegals, and we would hold them in these internment camps until they could be deported back. Well, now the internment camps are still under FEMA's control. They've broadened the sense of the persons covered that can be rounded up and put into these internment camps and held there for an indefinite period without trial. Just in case you're wondering, section 1021 covers anyone associated with, who has ever supported or contacted, aided, and abetted in any way Al-Qaeda or a terrorist organization, or anyone engaged with the United States. Now, this is funny because not a lot of people know this, but when we were overthrowing Gaddafi, we actually supplied weapons to associates of Al-Qaeda friendlies. Then because of that, we were Al-Qaeda friendlies. So everybody, I guess, who was responsible for that decision, or is a part of that, in a sense, can be seen already as an Al-Qaeda friendly. Then you got to be looking at a potential terrorist. Well, the definition for a potential terrorist has already been broadened. The potential terrorist put out in statewide manuals, FBI manuals, CIA manuals, any kind of military instruction manuals, any kind of watch list, any kind of, what the civilians should be paying attention to is anyone who opposes restrictions on gun rights, on gun laws, who fears communist regimes or foreign regimes, who fear foreign control, who fear a foreign government controlling them, who fear a one world government, or the New World Order. Basically the elite, the industrial elite that will, inevitably take over every country, the New World Order. Anyone who has any kind of hard, structured, deep-founded belief in anything can really be found as a potential terrorist. And then anyone engaging in the United States, well, if you're a political activist, if you're somebody who speaks out, if you're a whistleblower or a reporter publishing papers for a whistleblower, as we've just seen, they're trying to prosecute the reporters. They're calling for their heads. Julian Assange, the guy who released the cables, the founder of WikiLeaks. He has asylum in Ecuador, but he spent over a year huddled up in a tiny room in the Ecuador embassy, hiding out from our American government. But you can see that anybody can be painted as an engager if somebody who engaged in the United States, engaged with the United States, if you speak out against them. So if you have any kind of disposing view, then you are a potential terrorist. And it's a very simple belief, because their argument is essentially that terrorists speak out against the government. So, if you speak out against the government, you have an increased likelihood, however slight, even if it's 0.1 millionth of a percent, that you could be a terrorist. That increase in potential to be a terrorist, now we get to take all your shit. We get to detain you. We don't know what you're capable of. We don't know who you are. And until we can verify that you have done something wrong that we can try you for, you will enjoy our camps. Oh, and another thing to check into is the prisoner work labor program. Essentially, they're not just internment camps for holding, they are slave camps. Also, to another couple facts to quickly cover is checkpoints. DHS, Department of Homeland Security checkpoints that are being set up all across the Southwest. We've seen them as agriculture checkpoints, checking to make sure that you're not bringing in fruit. Seen them as immigration checkpoints, checking to make sure that Mexicans aren't making it too far into California. We've seen them as just regular border patrol checkpoints, making sure you're an American citizen. And, you know, when you're already in America, but the thing is they're set up past the border. They're not border patrol checkpoints. They're sighting checkpoints. They're adjustment checkpoints. They're checkpoints to use intimidation to cite you for what they can. And when they don't cite you for what they can, if they see you as a blind sheep, a willing, obedient person, then they might let you go on your way, and you think that you're free because you've done nothing wrong. But the fact is you were just subjected to without cause prove that you were doing nothing wrong, to prove your identity, to prove you're an American citizen while you were in American soil. You were detained and pulled aside to prove that. And while it doesn't seem like much, it's an adjustment, it's a slight curve to get you used, to get you accustomed to being searched in that manner, to being pulled aside, to being inconvenienced, to being structured in the system, in the futuristic world of Minority Report or V for Vendetta, where the system is safe, it is secure, it is all powerful. Yes, it is peaceful in a physical sense, but it is not free in any kind of mental way. Those worlds were not beautiful at all. Another thing, TSA, just another way of getting you used to being stripped down, your shoes taken off. Your shoes are taken off now. Why? Because a guy got through TSA screening with a bomb in his shoes. Since then, actually, let's go ahead and ask the question, does anyone know how many terrorists TSA screening has caught? Absolutely none. None. The guy with the bomb in his shoe made it onto the plane. The story, if he was not a plant, the story is that he was tackled, if I'm not mistaken, while he was trying to light, he was going out for the fuse and he was fidgeting and he was taken down. I was, 12 when this happened, but that's how I remember hearing about it. But TSA has not actually caught, through its screening process, any terrorists. They've caught civilians. They've caught people trying to bring back joints from Hawaii. Some of that Maui Wowie. They've caught people with illegal fish coming back from somewhere. I don't know. Maybe people coming back from Canada. Wrong type of syrup. Not allowed to have that. Don't bring that in here. Blueberry only. This is America. Only GMO syrup here. Only GMO syrup. Anyways, just almost 11 minutes, a little longer than I thought, but a couple quick things to look into, and I'll see you this weekend. So look for the FEMA camps video coming out this week. It's going to be great. I'm a Leaf in the Wind. This is the weekly nightly news on Stop the Badges channel. Check out our Facebook page, and have a nice night.